souls who may have departed from this, like this plane of perception, but who we, understand from our gurus that these people exist on another, a higher plane of existence, and they are actually transmitting to us, their own transcendental experience that we can also take in our hearts. So it's a very deep meditation. Each one of these songs, we try to, hear the words, and as we gradually hear the words, read the translations, we gradually understand what's being said, and that gives us a little more ability to have it impact our mind and intelligence, and by that means the transcendental sound will be allowed to enter a bit more deeply, cracking through the ego. So anyway, we're lucky enough to have some great chanters to chant for us, and we'll chant for Sri Guru Charana Padma, the glorification of the Guru, which my original Diksha Guru, Sri Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, had us chant every day in worship to, the divine master himself, Sri Guru Charana Padma, and with very, very deep consciousness, as deep as we could at that time, we prayed to him to help us in our service according to each one of the lines. Now, after some, long time, in connection with other Paramahansa Vaishnavas, we can see, more deeply into what is being said by Narottam Das and Govinda Das, and feel more deeply what is their sense of devotion and dedication that they're trying to convey. So it's a gradual process. It's a long process, which may. Is that going to open? Okay, it's a long process which may, take some time. Within this life is possible, but probably 1 or 2 lifetimes. So anyway, we'll chant this and try to really meditate on the words. We have our books. What's your name, Prabhu?
Jyoti.
Jyoti. Well, can you get Jyoti a book?
Yeah.
Offered to lead this song because he knows it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You learned it from when you were young? Yeah, wow, fantastic. So, yeah. So you know the 1, 2, 3 beat? You want kartals?
Yeah.
You have? Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, let's go for it. And we'll sing fairly slowly and give us, some nice emphasis on each line, each word, as best you can.
Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti.
Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Mahatma Ji ki Jai. So beautiful rendering. Jai. From what year did you learn in your age?
After in graduation.
In graduation. After graduation from university or from what do they call it?
High school.
College? High school?
In college.
Okay.
In college.
Okay. And from your father or someone?
Prabhu, I was in touch with ISKCON devotees.
Okay.
Bangalore.
In Bangalore, okay. Okay.
There I learned.
Yeah, I love Bangalore. I've been there a few times. Mostly in the 70s. Probably before you were born. And it was probably quite different in the 70s than it is now. I stayed in an old kind of British-style hotel with doors on the outside and a courtyard in the middle, and dinner at a certain time, like that. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at this as best we can. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, disciple of Lokanath Goswami, I think his only disciple. And Narottam Das was a great Paramahansa preacher who took the order of Nityananda Prabhu and traveled extensively through areas to the eastern side of Bengal into Manipur. And in Manipur, which is a fairly big area, there was one king, and he was able to preach to the king. The king was converted, and gradually all the whole state was changed to Vaishnavism, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the Achintya Veda Tattva of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Narottam Das, in his bhajans, in his kirtans that he's given, displays the depth of a real true Vaishnava, and we're very fortunate to be able to read, chant, and just hear every single word that he has written with devotion, no doubt feeling that he's writing like Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj says about Chaitanya Charitamrita. My hand is moving, I don't even know what I'm writing, but I'm writing. And it comes out, every shloka is beautiful poetry with very deep developed meaning. So similarly with Narottam Das's songs, we have so many, and I think there's a whole Padyavali of Narottam Das where all of his songs are compiled together. But the ones we sing are his primary songs that have come down the line for 450 years. It's quite amazing that where do you find a song that's 450 years old? That's before Bach or who are the musicians at that time? Even now we don't have that much contact. So it's extraordinary in so many levels. On the highest spiritual level, what he is and what he's conveying, right to the perceptible level of what's going on in this world and how things work. So there's been devotees, serious devotees, who have carried on this sound of Narottam Das through the ages, and we're fortunate to have received it, through the line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Saraswati Thakur, Gorkishore Das Babaji, of course, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, and now Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj and the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Brinda. So, it's laid out here, and we'll talk about it. I guess I only have 10 minutes, so I better get going. We'll talk about it, how the Guru transmits experience of Krishna consciousness. It's not as though you read and learn and understand and then practice and somehow or other you get stuff. You get development. It doesn't work like that. You surrender your heart and your energy to the Guru. The heart becomes soft and transcendental experience enters to reawaken the soul. You know, that's the actual process. It's not a mechanical process. Chant so many rounds, do this, do that, and you'll become automatically pure. If you chant rounds carefully, follow the regular principles, and do all these things, you'll come to the point where you understand, I have to surrender. This is not enough. After 8 or 9 years, I feel empty. What is the solution? Solution is you have to give yourself. And so these great Vaishnavas know that. So they're talking about the spiritual master. The lotus, Shri Guru Charana Padma, the lotus feet of the spiritual master, Shri Guru Charana Padma, the feet, Charana, Padma, lotus, Kevala Bhakti Sadma. They are the place, the only place of devotion, the abode of pure devotional service. Bandhomui Savadhana Mate. The translation is, I bow down to the lotus feet with great care and attention. Jahara Prasade Bhai, my dear brother, it is by Prasade Bhai, by grace, Ebhavatoriya Jai, that we, Ebhavatoriya Jai, that we, experience the Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite, the grace of Sri Krishna directly by his divine mercy. So Krishna is the original Guru, and through the divine Guru we receive directly the mercy of Krishna. Gurumukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya. Mukha Padma, the lotus mouth of the Guru, Vakya, what he speaks. Chitete Koriya Aikya. And take that within your heart. Arana Koriya Na, Koriya Mone Asha. Don't let anything in your mind appear as a desire. Don't desire anything else. Shri Guru Charane Rati. Rati means like feeling, devotional feeling. So be attached in that way to the lotus feet, Shri Guru Charane. Say Uttama Gati, and that's the Uttama Gati. That's the ultimate like destination or means of spiritual advancement. May Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Prasade, by his mercy, Pure Sarva Asha. Sarva Asha, all everything, all desires for spiritual perfection are fulfilled. So, the lotus feet of the spiritual master, lotus feet. We bow down to the feet of the spiritual master, and when we meditate on the deity, we first look at the feet and then move up and see the other parts of the divine form. And so we bow to the lowest part of the body with our highest part, and with aspiration to surrender. And lotus means like the lotus flower who sits on water but isn't touching the water. So the Guru is like that. He's here perceptible to us in this world, but he's not touched by the illusions of the material energy. So by his mercy, all desires for spiritual perfection are fulfilled. So whatever we desire in our hearts has its origin in connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by the mercy of the Guru, we begin to get that connection and ultimately finally succeed in that connection. Chukshudana Dila Jay, Janme Janme Prabhu say, he who has given me the gift, Dana Dila Jay, given the gift of transcendental vision, Chakshu, vision, Janme Janme Prabhu say, life after life, he is my master. So here's indication directly from Narottam Das that the process of devotion is, lengthy, and it will also come out later. I think that, or maybe it's in the next song, that is very rare. Durlabha, it's very rare. I think the next song will get that. And then this next line, I think, is the most important. If you can categorize things in that way, I don't know, but I feel this is the most important. Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito. He's giving divine knowledge in the heart. So that's like the whole thing. We didn't even realize that in the early days, and still many followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu haven't come to the stage of understanding the position of Sri Guru. Guru actually is everything. We sing it, but yet sometimes devotees can get so caught up in the process, they think accepting a guru is just a part of the process. But actually it's not. It's everything. The guru gives everything in the heart, and everything else that we accumulate based on I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to be a good mridanga player, I want to get the bliss in the kirtan, I want to get the bhav, or whatever is said. This is all calculated. I want to get for me. But there's a plane where you try to give up even that. We can't desire for ourselves even our own progress. We have to completely give ourselves and understand the process is not mechanical. It's all dependent on mercy. First, the mercy of Guru, and of course the Guru is fully surrendered to his Guru, all the way up the line to Krishna, who's like the puppet master. He's giving direct instructions in our heart based on the vision of Sri Guru. So Guru communicates in that way. And we have to be aware of that. Divya Gyan, really, in the heart, he gives information. So if we're confused about which way to go, we pray to Sri Guru. And Sri Guru will show us. And we wait and see. That was Srila Govinda Maharaj's vision. He always prayed to Srila Guru Maharaj. And if no answer came, you wait and see. And eventually, poof, it becomes apparent. How is that? Is it like your mind figured it out? No, it's suddenly the impetus, the clarity comes from the inner self, the inner heart, by the inspiration of the Guru, pierces through the ego and reaches the intelligence and mind, and we know what to do. So, Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Ovidya Vinasha Jate. Okay. So, he's given me the Prema Bhakti, the gift of, Prema Bhakti. He's the last one. By his mercy, knowledge is revealed within the heart. Then, bestowing loving devotion, Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite, and Avidya Vinasha Jati, Vinasha, destroying avidya, ignorance. So Prema Bhakti comes, ignorance goes. The sun rises, darkness goes. It just works like that. The presence of, of Krishna and Guru in our lives, in surrendered, loving reality, automatically drives away the illusion. So we have to work with sincerity, but ultimately, as Krishna describes in the Gita, and you'll find it throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many things in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, that clearly indicate that Krishna is revealing to us in the heart based on our own inner surrender and inner desire. So prema bhakti jaha hoite, and then automatically dispelling the ignorance. So it's not as though by renunciation we get success. We do renounce in certain ways to help us develop in devotional service, but that's not the key. The real key is surrender to the lotus feet. Vedagaya Jahara Charito. The Vedas, Gaya, sing of his greatness, his character, Charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu, Adama Janara Bandhu, friend of the fallen souls. Oh, Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu, the ocean of mercy, of divine blessing. Lokanath Lokera Jivana, Lokera, the people, the Jivans. This Lokanath is the teacher. And this is specifically Narottam Das's song, so he's worshipping Lokanath in this song. So in the early days, we replaced Lokanath with Prabhupada. Prabhupada Lokera Jivana. And at a certain stage, Prabhupada told us, you don't do that. This is Narottam's song, not your song. Kaha Prabhu Koro Doya Deho More Padachaya. Oh Master, be merciful to me. Koro Doya. Deho More Padachaya. Give me chaya, the shade. Give me the shade of your pada, lotus feet. Ebidasa Gushuk Tribhuvana. Your glories are everywhere throughout the three worlds. And I, fallen soul, attempt to surrender. To your feet I attempt to surrender. The goal of surrender. The fearless lotus feet is my goal. Doya Korohe, give me mercy. Petit Pavan Sri Gurudev, Doya Korohe, a friend of the fallen, oh my Gurudev, give me your mercy. Adama Patita Jane, Doya Korohe, the Adama, those who are not able to follow properly, please give me the mercy. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. So this talks about surrender, Sharanilam, Sharanilam, Sharana, Sharanilam. So friend of the fallen, Gurudev, you please give me your mercy. So the whole song brings us to the final refrain, which I think is done by Srila Guru Maharaj, but I'm not sure. Many of these refrains are done by Srila Guru Maharaj. It may have been done before that, but not necessarily Narottam Das singing this, but just kind of bringing about in refrain the essence of the teaching. So the lotus feet are everything. And again, what that means is, the development in spiritual life is a transmission from the Guru to our own hearts. And in loving reciprocation with the Guru, we show our desire through our devotional activities, and then he reciprocates. Based on the degree of our desire, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. As they surrender to me, I reward accordingly. So Narottam Das is giving us the essence of who the Guru is, how we need him, and how we approach him and surrender, approach his lotus feet, and know that You know, if we pray with, you know, please give me your mercy, please give me your mercy, we'll find fulfillment. Why? Because Narottam Das shows us that. And he knows. Like, he's above the jungle. He sees the whole thing. And he sees us, you know, trapped in different places in the, you know, or the banyan tree of illusion that goes on forever. And people running along roots and branches trying to find an end, but they never come to an end through their mind and senses. But here, Narottam Das is clearly indicating that the real way is heart, surrender, and transmission will come from above, and experience will come, and life will be transformed. This is the vision and the mercy of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Jai, Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Bhakti Rakhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Mat Acharya Brinda ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Mat Vaishnava Brinda ki jai. Visva Vaishnava Brinda ki jai. Okay, so next. Who's going to chant? Vera? Okay, what page?
165.
165?
Sorry, 155.
155. Vaja Hure Mana Srila Govinda Das Kaviraj, the poet Govinda Das. I didn't have a chance to look at the background of Govinda Das, but from my understanding, he's somewhere in the range between Narottam and Mahaprabhu. Maybe he has some late association with Mahaprabhu or Nityananda. I don't think it's that clear. Okay. No.
Sorry? Okay.
Mind, please worship the lotus feet. Govinda Das Kaviraj ki jai.
Vajahure manasi nandanandana abhaya charanara
Vajahure manasi nandanandana abhaya charanara
Vajahure manasi nandanandana abhaya charanara
Jai. Govinda Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. So, Bhajahu Re Mana. Just mind. Here, Govinda Das is giving emphasis on controlling the mind. The mind has, basically, we understand from the scriptures and the teachings of our gurus, the mind has two functions, acceptance and rejection. I want this, I don't want that. And the basis of the function of the mind comes from the intelligence, which enables the choice. And beyond the intelligence, there's the ego, which drives the motivation. So the mind, motivated by ego, uses its intelligence to come to a conclusion about whether this is going to be good for me or not, or good for my family, or good for my country, or whatever, based on personal motivation. But here Govinda Das Kaviraj is telling us that the mind is for something else. It's Bhaja, hooray. Worship Sri Nandanandana, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Sri Krishna, who has fearless lotus feet, which will, according to the translation, make you fearless. Abhaya Charanaravinda Re. So my first guru, Srila Prabhupada, was named Abhaya Charan by his parents. So he carried that name through his sannyas title, which is very unusual. I've never seen it anywhere else. But he was always A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And he liked this song very much and would sing it. I can just remember Govindadas Kaviraj is speaking of the mind. So he presented it like that. Durlabha Manava. This is a rare, Manava, the human birth. The person who has the function of free will. The free will function is manifest in the human life. And it's, there are many varieties of human beings, something like 400,000 throughout the whole, all of the planetary levels. But this particular planetary level is a good level for cultivation of spiritual life, which is one reason why Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, appeared here in the same cycle of Chatur Yugas that Krishna himself descended from the spiritual world. It's very rare. So we have a chance in the human life to use our free will and choose to go towards a spiritual destination as opposed to a material destination. And it begins just incrementally. You just take a little bit into your life, and that little bit grows a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and a natural development is set into motion by taking the shelter of the lotus feet. So this rare human birth, Janama Satsange, you take the association of have satsanga, of saintly persons, satsanga, and Taroho e Bhava Sindhure, Sindhu ocean, cross over the ocean of worldly existence by satsange, the association of saintly persons. So we hear Govinda Das is citing in his beautiful song that satsanga is essential to develop relations with other devotees who are aspiring after the same ideal is like essential, because when we have that connected association, we become strong. Like the example is given, one stick is easily broken, a bunch of sticks, you can't break it. So, like that, we take shelter of satsanga. Sita atapa, what is that? Heat and cold. Is it right? Sita atava? Is it Maybe disease. No, I guess not. Okay.
Rain,
Varishna, rain, huh? Wind and rain.
Heat and cold.
Heat and cold. E dina jamini jagire. I remain every day, day and night I remain sleepless. Vipali sevinu kripana durajana. For just a little bit, Vipali sevinu, I have served these kripana durajanas, these selfish people who are working only for personal gain. This is the entrapment of the material world. Now he's coming from, advising us about taking shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Nandanandana and getting that through association of great devotees. Now he's telling us what is our actual situation. We're stuck in the material world, forced to serve, people who are not properly motivated. This is our, the problem with material life. By the nature of the human being, we have to serve. Everybody serves, no matter who they are, where they are, what they're doing, how big they are. They're serving someone because it's the nature of the self. It's the nature of the soul. So by free will, we consciously make a choice to serve that eternal object of our inner impulses and inner desires. We choose to serve that object after being beaten. Chapala Sukalaba Lagire. Sukalaba, okay. Right, so I have served Sevinu, Sukalaba Lagire, for a fraction of Sukalaba, just a little bit of happiness. Thinking that, well, there's nothing else, so I might as well do the best I can, make the best use of a bad bargain. This is the thinking of many people, or just mentally be happy and you'll be happy. Connect with the universe and the universe will give you money, and so many different philosophies and arguments. But here Govindadas is saying it doesn't work like that in the material world. Even somehow or other by your karma, you live a life that appears successful. In the end, everything is taken away, which he comes to in the next verse. E dana jovana putra parijana. So what kind of itiki ache parititire? What kind of happiness is there in dana, wealth, jovana, youthfulness, putra, sons, and parijana, family members? What kind of assurance of happiness is there? It's unfortunately, we get a loving shelter of a family, and to some extent that exchange in family life has connection with reality. Every aspect of love ultimately is connected with divine love. But in the material world, because the love is directed towards temporary relief from the material energy, because it's directed in that way, it's always, it's always cut off. It always ends. So, ultimately there's no real happiness there. But it's not as though in the practice of devotional life we abandon family life or affection for our spouse and our children, but we utilize that affection to enable them to grow and progress in spiritual development. That's the idea. So we can be happy in that way with the ideal at the center. So then Govinda Maharaj hits us with a heavy one. Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala. So there's Kamala Dala Jala. There's just like water tottering on a lotus flower. This is what our life is like. At any time, wind may come along, bird may fly by, who knows what, and the water will just roll off. So that's what life here is, and we see it, particularly when you get older. Like I'm seeing suddenly, my friends are like disappearing. They're just not here. Luckily they were engaged in devotional life, so I'm happy and know they're in a good position to begin again their devotion, or maybe have been elevated very high into spiritual life. It's possible, but generally the case is that we take birth where we continue our devotional efforts. Okay, so Kamala Dalajana Jivana Talama, that life is like that drop of water. Bajahu Haripada Nitire. Therefore, you should make it your practice to worship the lotus feet of Hari, Lord Hari. Because why? Because everything's temporary. The only eternal thing that we have in our life is that connection with Hari. So if we can engage 10 minutes in prayer, that's auspicious. That will develop. Everything grows in devotional life. The more that we focus on our purpose, the more that we pray, the more the connection develops. And sometimes, along the way, we get tested. The connection kind of disappears. Do you really want this or don't you? Particularly in devotional life, there's a big transition from, I want bliss, I want happiness, I want peace, I want this, I want that, so I practice devotion. There's a point at which that becomes empty. You don't get the effects, the initial effects you had from contact with devotion. It's the process of devotion is like that. So we come to a stage where we have to begin to give our inner self and really deeply, for real, begin to surrender. Dana, okay, we did that. Now Govinda Das immediately comes to a solution. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana. So what we're doing, Shravana Kirtana, hearing, chanting in Kirtan, Smarana Vandana, we are, through the effect of the Kirtan, we're enabling ourselves to remember, oh yeah, I'm Krishna's servant. Oh yeah, Krishna has arranged everything around me for my help. Externally, in the body, in the mind, I may be feeling pleasure or pain, whatever. Krishna's arranging it, and it's for my own good. Ultimately, we try to think like that, and try to see like that, and try to pray like that. Simultaneously understanding, like Govinda Das is telling us here, we're being beaten by the material energy. So in a way, we want to get out. We don't like it. We want to return to our real origin, our real self. And simultaneously, we want to see that Krishna is God. And if God is God, He's behind everything. It may be that His servant, Maya, Durga Devi, is overseeing with Shiva, Parvati, and so on, overseeing the functions of the material world. Ultimately, they're serving Him. So if we take shelter of Him, we can overcome those difficulties. Pada Sevana Dasya Re. So serving the lotus feet. Sometimes we get to serve the lotus feet of our gurus. Sometimes we get to serve the lotus feet of our God brothers and God sisters. Serving the lotus feet means that we give ourselves in devotion to help and to serve others in the matter of development in devotional life. That's essential. And dasyare, I'm feeling myself a servant. I'm giving my energy in service. So we have temples where people can, sweep the floors, chant the mantras, do the puja. So many means through which we can engage in service, which Govindadas comes to. Pujana. So we have that, the arti and the whole system of worship of the Archa Vigraha form there to enable us to understand that the Transcendental Lord is here and is here in reality in transcendental form, though by His grace He's appearing within an external form like brass or different kinds of wood and so on. The Lord is appearing in that way to help us learn how to serve. So when we offer the incense, offer the light, these are all representations of surrender, trying to give ourselves. And these representations, means through which we can express this, are given by the great predecessor acharyas, particularly Sanatana Goswami has given in Hari Bhakti Vilas, and that's been passed down for us to use in our pujana. Then Sakhi Jana. So Krishna becomes your friend. And in that, on that particular stage, Krishna as a friend, and in Goloka Vrindavan, you play with Krishna without, under the influence of Yoga Maya, not realizing he's actually God, and you fight with him and do so many things. Otherwise, also, like Arjuna was Sakhi Jana, he was his friend. We hear that in the Gita, that Arjuna was his friend. So we can come to the stage of being friend by doing these previous engagements, Shravana, Kirtana, Smara, Vandana, Parda, Sevana, Dasya, Pujana. Then we come up to Sakhi Jana, then Atma Nivedana. That means like you give totally the self, everything, nothing is left. That description Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, that he emptied himself. He had nothing but that one order, that one line, bring Krishna consciousness to the Western world, to the English-speaking people. That's all he had. He was completely empty. So Atma Nivedana, he possessed that. And then Govindadas finishes by saying, this is me. I'm Govindadas. And I'm also trying to, give myself. Abhilasare. Completely offering this Govindadas. I offer myself to you. So this is the mood given by the great Vaishnava, that he's 100% purely offering himself for what? Nothing but the service of Krishna. And this is, it's very high and, somewhat out of our reach at this stage, no doubt. Really super out. The more we progress, the more we realize how small we are and how far away we are. But I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When in about the 1984, I was with my wife, Srileka, and we went to see Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and she had bought a beautiful, soft, I think cotton, 100% cotton or 100% wool with silk in it. It was very nice. And he took it and rubbed it on his cheek and looked at us and said, Krishna is very far, but the Vaishnava is very near. So beautiful, So it may be that, in our realization, we see, what a mess we've gotten ourselves into. But at the same time, we see there's a light that can help us correct that. And we have to just go towards that light. And as we take a step, at first in darkness, then the next step we get a little more sure, and surety increases, and the light increases as we progress. And depending on your situation from a previous life, your position in devotion comes out, and you begin from the point where you left off in your previous life in this process of devotional service given by Govinda Das. So, first advice, mind, oh mind, you worship Govinda, Nanda Nandana, his lotus feet. And because it's a lucky thing. You have Manava, you have the birth of a human. There's billions and millions of living beings. It's achintya, it's inconceivable. How it's possible that there's a soul in every one of these living entities. But, there is. It just blows your mind. And it's supposed to, because, Krishna is totally beyond our reach, the reach of our intellect or mind. And that understanding, achintya beda beda tattva, the truth of simultaneous one and difference, is inconceivable. So, one with Krishna, but different in that we're very, very small and eternally in a position of service. Nothing else but service can fill our soul. We're attempting to fill our soul and find our destiny in the material world, but time always runs out. Time runs out. And so human life means, wait a minute, that shouldn't be like that. There must be some kind of solution. That's human life. We have that chance. Govinda Das says it's very rare, so we should take it and engage finally in the 9 processes. After understanding we're stuck in the heat and the cold, the wind and the rain. What else did he say? Serving, forced to serve. So many different. You want to have a little prasadam?
Not going to be.
The baby. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So forced to serve miserly and wicked men. It's just the nature of the world. You're forced to serve because that's our nature. The whole setup is like that, no matter how high you go. Then, at any time you can leave, you have to leave the world. So he paints the picture like it's so, what's the word, transparent. You can see it clearly that, the drop of water on the lotus petal. It's just, he's painted a picture for us in the mind to imbue the understanding of reality. We're in an untenable position. And there is a reason why we don't like it. Because we do have an alternative to that, untenable material position. So first you figure out that by rational logic, you figure out that the world is a temporary place. It's difficult for me to find happiness. I have to die. Is there something else? So we're reading this morning in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Kaviraj Goswami says, by logic and reason, you can come to that stage. And what is that stage? Give up your logic and reason and try to surrender in your heart. Because logic and reason can't bring you beyond the universe. Can't even bring you into the really understanding of, how a blade of grass works. They have some general idea, but, They go inside, 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 and they still can't find the smallest. And Krishna says, I am the smallest. So we know they're never going to find him with their microscopes, no matter how atomic they are, or whatever they call them. You know. Okay, so we've talked enough, I guess. So we have Hare Krishna Kirtan for a while. What time's our team?
1:30,
1:30. Oh, sorry, I talked too much. Okay, Bhaja Hure Mala Ki Jai. Srila Govinda Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai.
Sripad Bhakti Vigraha Nyasi Maharaj ki jai. You can use it when you're practicing.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Okay, now, Sri Tadiya Bhoga Arti ki jai. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. Well, sleeping. It was pretty loud kirtan.
Yeah, sorry. No.